So this is a Falzar PB that I got offline earlier. Hello Marker, welcome. I'd be restreaming it because I thought it'd be fun, and because I don't really want to do another run today. I've only got the video feed. I had my full stream layout when I recorded it, but I'm only taking the game feed, so there won't be any spoilers in the splits. It was not a very good run, but okay. Also just have honestly relatively short video game music playlist on in the background because there was no game audio since I was watching SGDQ. Try to provide reasonable commentary whenever there's stuff to mention. Is this where? I don't know, Twilight. You'll have to wait and see. Welcome to the stream. I do actually have on the splits a comparison against MP's run, which you can see here. So I'll flip back and forth and talk about that a little as well. I also have some of best, which is horribly wrong, apparently. Okay, we're gonna ignore some of best. I'll fix that later. One of those... One of these is really wrong. Element Man and Moonstone. Moonstone is 0 seconds. Is this the fabled 4-hour run? I will tell you that it's sub 30. Sub 230. I won't tell you how sub 230 though. We're almost through the tutorial. Of course, tutorial's standard for any Beyond game. I do a couple weird things, but for the most part it's just breaks even. Sub 230 hours. Yes, exactly. Very sub 230 hours. Let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet, by the way. So obviously it's starting the game, Beyond 6, Red Crack Shot. 60 damage star code. So unfortunately I make it all the way to the door here and have to run back and forth a little. But I do get 2 meters, which is optimal. And I land both counter hits for the S rank and the Reflector A, which is good. Now I actually get kind of unlucky in this fight. I guess it's not really unlucky. Hey Tara, thanks for the auto host. I assume you're not actually here. But yeah, if you see what I did there, because I moved more than twice, the 2 counter hits weren't enough to make up for it, and I only got rank 10, I think? 9 or 10. And I ended up getting Reflector P, which was not ideal. That said, they were both double Metar, which is the fastest encounter, so that's important because we still went to bed sub 4. Usually that doesn't happen with 2 encounter. You'll notice I changed my splits background as well. Tomahawk Cross wasn't worth, so even though it looked pretty cool, wasn't really representative of the run, I guess. I'm not really sure Spare Cross is either, but we do use it a lot, so. I actually missed the counter hit with the sword. It's very unfortunate, but it's kind of fine because I took the, or sorry, I don't miss the counter hit. I got hit before I fired the crack shot. I should have moved all the way to the back, but it was fine because I had the backup air shot. That's why you take more chips than you need. I think I talked to one desk here. Yeah. Not bad, honestly. This is pretty okay until we start robo control. It starts to go downhill. Alright, so at this point, I'm starting the robo control comps. I see that I started this cutscene at 6:45, which is pretty optimal. It doesn't get a lot faster than that unless you have Unreal locked. Stuck on the corner there briefly, but that's all you can do. Actually wait at this one. Pretty sure it's faster. I'm not sure the exact amount of distance that makes tanking it worth more than just dodging it. Should probably time it out. So I believe all my encounters actually went really well in here. Unfortunately, I never do get another Reflector A though. So when it comes time to do the folder edit, I end up just putting the 1 in there. And I don't put another chip in because it's not worth the folder. It's not worth the flow. I think I have like an R code mock gun or an F code fire hit, which I just don't bother with. I did get 2 encounters. So here I don't even wait for the counter hit. I would have to move twice, it would have to give me mock gun A for it to be worthwhile. Yeah, really other than getting both the encounters in the first comp, everything went pretty well in Rebel Control. This encounter's a little slow because I missed that counter hit. That's the one I was thinking of earlier. And then I missed this buster shot as well. So this encounter was actually pretty bad. This contributed a lot to my blast mount time, I think. Which you'll see soon. It's, I lose time on this split. And MP's PB is actually a second faster than mine, so I'm behind at this point. And at the time, I wasn't expecting much from the run, because, like I said, I've only got one null code chip to put in. I put in just the 1A code reflector all the way down there. You could argue that the P code reflector would be with. So if I draw both of them, they can go together. But if I draw the recov L, it only goes with mini bomb L. It's not really ideal to begin with. Forget exactly how the blast man fight goes. I draw a bit of alphabet soup. I actually should have taken the 2 mini bombs because that would have gotten an L code off my custom screen and still beaten 2 chips. I go for the mini bomb counter hit here, but I miss it. The timing's a little tight. I go for these 2 because it's just easier, I guess. There's no RNG waiting for the sword. I get this counter hit, and I've got a Vulcan on the gauge, so works out totally fine. "27 seconds. Honestly, fight's not that bad. Like I said, I'm 25, 26 seconds behind now. That said, I am aware that the splits I was comparing against were really, really bad because I had a horrible PB. It's a little more reasonable now, for sure. And in fact, even if we compare to MP though, the Blast Man and even the Dive Man splits weren't horrendous. The Blast Man in my PB was good, and the Dive Man in my PB was, well, it was really bad. 35 minutes is horrible, but it's easy to save time on. I actually forget the key data very briefly. It's like a free second right there. Then I get stuck on a wall. Walls are the real boss. Still going for copy damage. For the most part, I was very good in this roundabout, not forgetting where I was going. It's not a whole lot of running in the wrong direction, if any. The key data was about as bad as it gets. That was only a second. It's probably because I did another run last night. Even though I didn't finish, I did get to Falzar. There's this guy. This fight goes well. He actually moves down, which is better. Because the starfish has the 60 health. So you can just take out the puppy and the starfish is already gone. You only end up needing one buster charge. It's the first time that's happened in a while. I was saying my menus were a little lacking in this room. Part of that was I didn't really know what I was doing on edits. I just kind of winged it. And the other thing is the Skytown gauntlets were still real bad. We'll get there. So I can actually save a few seconds on the bathroom splits fight here. For whatever reason, the game really likes giving me air shot as my only option recently. So you'll see here. Take the air shot. I have to buster this Metar twice, because otherwise it's going to cause problems. Oh, I was supposed to split that. It's fine. But don't worry about it. MP actually doesn't have this split anyway, so it's pretty meaningless. It's a little hard to forget when you're not, or to remember when you're out playing. But the split was 1833, I can see it on the VOD. I saved a little bit of time back on that split, and now I'm only plus 17.5. Compared to my PE, which again at this point is reasonable still. So I saw this fight and I was like, oh good, I'm gonna get like longsword N or something. Because ha, Falzar. But I actually get the train arrow off. Early train arrow means that the dive man split's gonna be really good. And then I get this for my second fight. Like, 2 train arrows? Like, okay, if I get 2 Fs, I'll put them in the folder. Since we don't fight Heatman and Falzar, there's not really much need to put them in the 40. They help against Diveman and a little bit against Smoutman. I get the A code though, so I'm definitely putting that one in. All the way from here until like the Skytown gauntlets, my movement's really clean. But the Sky gauntlets go pretty slow, so I get a little tilted. And the movement, it's noticeable. Song's a little quiet. So the first edit there, I was busy adjusting the music, but I think what I did was take out 3 swords and put the train arrow at the top. Right here I did a bit of a mistake. I actually should have put the undershirt in the bottom left. So you're going to see as a side effect of that, I actually end up running without undershirt and only 120 HP for a little while. After I do the codes. Okay, so in here you'll see I start trying to, whenever I talk to something that's not an NPC, I try to turn around during the text box. That's because the way I mash A, so, okay, maybe you won't see it, but I'm trying. For whatever reason, when you talk to an object rather than an NPC, it's really easy to turn around in 6. And since I mash A, if I don't turn around, I end up double talking to a lot of things anyway. Like right there, I got it on the trash can. I actually saved a turn frame and a movement frame on the trash can. For whatever reason, that one activates really slowly. At least it looked like it saved a movement frame. I know when I tasked 4, I could get a couple movement frames depending on what I was interacting with. Well, I say a couple. 1. There's one point in BN4 after you talk to your computer before you have the run to Rage Duck, where the cutscene sets you in a spot where if you run straight to your computer and jack in, you can't just hold down left to leave the house. Or no, if you run there to talk to it, you can't just hold down left to leave the house. So I actually do the turn frame down and get 1 movement frame out of it, and then I can leave with just one turn frame as opposed to two. Which I thought was really cool. Not related to this run, but it's interesting. I don't know why it doesn't always do it though. You can see there, almost didn't talk to this. Probably turn the music back down. The dark cloud tracks are mostly really loud. There we go. Alright, so far all we've done is... Well, I guess not all we've done. We saved a little bit of time back on bathroom splits. But we're behind, basically. After the dive man split, though, that is going to change. Hey Tara, thanks. I hope I PB too. I think I will. I have a pretty good feeling about this run. Yeah, so obviously, since I already have Train Arrow, I can just go ahead and skip all the encounters in Aquarium, and it goes super fast. That's where most of the time save on Dive Man comes from. You can see as well, MP's Dive Man is 3402. But will you whir? That's the question, right? We'll see. We'll see. I'm willing to say that the run is definitely sub 2 hours 30. But beyond that, we'll find out. So I started taking that top part of that area and walking past the GMD, and I think that's the same walking. It might save like a couple of turn frames or something. I don't know. I don't think it makes a difference. Snip. Alright. This is the first time I've really used... I don't use playlists on stream much. I can look into that after though. Honestly, not a whole lot to say about aquarium comps when you're not getting encounters. I'm really excited to watch the soul weapons back on this one. The first set of soul weapons were really clean. You can see throughout this run that I've been doing a lot more of running on a diagonal and then switching to another diagonal rather than doing left and right. I guess that's because I've been spending so much time tassing 4. It's kind of become a habit, even RTA for me now. It works out to the same if you cut corners perfectly. If you don't, I mean, same deal, it works out to the same anyway. I think there are situations where it can save turn frames to do it that way. According to the task viewer, I usually do it within about 1 to 2 frames. So for me, it's really no slower to cut like up, left, up, right than it is to do like up, left, up to right. And here's the dive man fight. Spoilers, doesn't go very well. It's dive man. I do actually hit the reflector though. Thought I'd point that out, it doesn't happen very often. Oh, and I actually had 2 counter hits on his bombs in this fight. So I guess it goes fine, but... I don't really get a whole lot of stuff. I was trying to get him to go to the front there. I actually get to keep this full synchron, which is good. Here I actually took the mini bomb L, I'm so proud of myself. Should have thrown both. I knew it wasn't cause iframes. And right here as well, I really should have put the white capsule on that cannon. Or led with the mini bomb. But anyway, let's dive man. I saved 46 seconds compared to PB. At this point, I'm actually only 12 seconds behind MP. Apparently he had a really good dive man split, 34.02. Crazy. So the first 3 splits were all well and good. Exactly the same as Gregor. So there wasn't really any time to lose or save there, but if anything, there was only time to save there because my Falzar PB was not amazing by any means, at least on dive man. But from here out is where the real time save starts. Oh, I don't know if you caught that, but I turned around when I talked to the computer. I was really happy with that. It's a cutscene, doesn't save any time at all, it just looks cool. The split was pretty reasonable. I'm a lot better at fighting Spoutman now, and I actually sneak run correctly. And I don't get the one RNG encounter at the end, so that's all good. These door fights go mostly okay, I think. You do have to really try to mess these up, to be fair. And I did try my best, as you can see. I didn't wait to counter hit anything there, I just used the chip. But like, it is legitimately difficult to lose much time on these. Aquaman's chip is just too good. So the sneak run wears off there. Totally fine. Can't get encounters when you're in the air. So out of the 3 sections of fish, this one actually goes the worst because of this. I think that was the only one. Yeah. So I actually lose... I drop down to yellow breath and get an extra text box right before I get back in the whirlpool. So the sneak run only has to get me to the whirlpool back in the next area. It'll wear off while I'm swimming around either way. And we can't afford to use another one, because it would only skip maybe one encounter. So this was actually not too bad. I have to swim that way anyway. Remember at the last second that these swim to the side, which is good. We don't drop down to yellow here, totally fine, although it is close. One more pixel puts me at yellow. If you don't drop to yellow, then your fish section went good. Sneak run wears off there. It's fine, we don't need it anymore. This is the area that I know the best, I think, so this goes really well. And we don't get the random encounter. Saving time, 7.5 seconds. And we don't need to do anything with the red chips, so we just go straight into the fight. And we got a really good opening draw. Counter hit, it's going to be an extra 60 damage on the crack shot. Got the counter hit, it's going to be an extra 40 damage on the cannon. Got the counter hit, that's going to be extra 80 damage with the sword. The practice I did on this fight is really paying off. This guy's still an asshole in 4 though. I made a big mistake there. I could have actually stepped backwards to block that attack. And then he just wouldn't have spawned over here at all. But luckily he does this pretty quick. And we actually get the S rank over 35 with 35 seconds because we hit so many counters. You can probably tell by now, but we save a little bit of time on this split. Hey, Torbrex. No, definitely. This run is much harder than Gregor, and it's slower as well. Gregor is so much more consistent. The beast out is better, he crosses insane. It's a better time to run Gregor. If you want to get into running 6, definitely do Gregor. First, anyway. Falzar is a interesting adventure. Honestly, when I started the run this morning, I thought it would die, and then I was just gonna save before the Skytown Gauntlets and spend the afternoon kind of ironing out how to do those. But then this happened. So I kept going. Pick up a few chips here. This is Buster Pack. This is the most important one. Obviously, it's not chip, but it's the whole strat of the game. I don't remember exactly what this is. Elm Trap, I think. Yeah. Then we get M Boomer. This is the HP 500. So we actually pick up HP 500 in Falzar instead of 400 because HP 400 is green. Small optimization there on Hakushaku. If you hit start left, you don't have to skip over the 2 zeros. It's less inputs. So you can do start and left in 3 frames, and it takes 6 frames to do right twice. Menus are weird. At least I assume 6 works the same as 4, because why wouldn't it? They're in the same engine. So now, because the Spatman scenario has so much more locking than the Heatman one, we used 2 sneak runs instead of 1. We actually have 2 sneak runs when normally in Gregor we'd have 3 right now. It actually works out to be fine, because when we do the run to Seaside area after the first section of Soul Weapons, as Aquaman, we only get 1 encounter. So we can skip 1 there, and it doesn't matter too much. So we'll use both the 1 remaining at this point sneak run to run through Central the second time as Mega Man when we fight Circus Man. Oh, and at this point, I am plus 36 compared to NP's time. I do lose time compared to where on Spoutcross. I'm not really sure why or where. I assume it's on the fight. His fight went really well. Probably a combination of the fight and some other things, but my execution on these soul weapons is really good. I was super happy with this split. Well, except for right at the end, I make a mistake. The end of Seaside 3. It was almost perfect execution. It's also really weird not having doors in Seaside area doing the soul weapons. Spoutcross was gold, by the way, but I saved my splits and just put in my old PB times manually again. So you can't actually see the golds. It was only gold by about 6 seconds though, I think. So that there looks a little weird. Just saves a turn frame. The reason I hit the yellow one only is because the time for them to completely vanish is a lot longer than the time for them to just go down a level, as you can tell here. So you want to overlap it as much as possible by prepping the others beforehand. I think it's only worth if it takes one weapon. Now we have to go get Spoutman to do the second half of the soul weapon section. This is going to be the trip that we don't use the sneak run on. We'll get one encounter in Central 3 and we'll just run from it. Or in Central 2, rather. Although I think it is possible to get another in Central 3. We did not on this run, thankfully. It's very slightly possible to get one in Central 1 as well, but very, very slightly possible. We actually got a late encounter here, no danger of the second. Three viruses did cost a little more than if it would have been 2 viruses, but can see there you only need to be very barely on the next tile to push the soul weapons ahead. And this is where the sneak run would have worn out if we had used one. The walking's very consistent, so. There's actually very, very little RNG in this split. And actually I think for Falzar there's none at all. Because the door fights are already done, and Aquaman can hit the back row for the final fight. See there's a little part where you can do that gun without moving off that tile. Hey Uber Geek, welcome. Fun and dynamic gameplay. Well, actually, I think it is. I like the soul weapons a lot. Both casually and in the speedrun, but for different reasons. Casually makes you think a little, and then in the speedrun it's just really nice because it's pure execution. Although it is pretty involved in the speedrun. There's no downtime until you get to the door virus. But haha, this is Falzar. There is no door virus. So yeah, it is true that the fish are longer than the kettles, but you do make a little bit of that time back because the door virus is already done. Better than the noise wave minigame in Star Force 3. I think the Star Force 3 runners, at least most of them, would share that sentiment. I'm not sure if it's here or on the next one. It's right here. It's the only mistakes in the whole split are on these last two soul weapons. That one misaim was the only mistake in the whole split. This is a very, very good split. It's probably better than my Gregor split. Now I don't even have to mess with this fight. Oh, okay, actually that was a mistake as well. I missed the buster shot. 2 mistakes in the whole split. Also, I should have just used Hakushock. And I do get the encounter. Sucks a little, but whatever. It's also only 2 meters, so we saved frames. Falzar version gets shafted so hard in BN6. Your beast out sucks. Your cross sucks. So you can probably tell already that we're going to save a little more time here. I forget how this fight goes. It's a little worse than Gregor usually goes. Should have taken the L code instead of the D code. I guess I compare it with mini-moms. That was why I didn't. I should be trying to bust her 100 health there to get him in one charge. Okay, it was actually better that I took the D code. And that's Circus Man. And that's another 42 seconds time save. At this point, we're actually 42 seconds ahead of MP's split. Apparently, I have really bad soul weapons. So, currently, this run is on world record pace. So since I didn't get an encounter on the way to this, I pick up an extra sneak run and use it. Which in all likelihood saves me an encounter. It's very unlikely to get to the yellow Navi without one. Oh, there's my bug to sum of best. 0 second Moonstone split. Too far, too far. But yeah, being ahead of War is pretty cool. When I saw that during the run, because I had this comparison set up already when I did the run, I was like, oh wow, minus 231 on Circus Man. That seems pretty good. Oh hey, I'm ahead of War. That's cool. I was really hoping to keep that pace. You'll see if I do or not. You got War splits while the VOD was up? He has a picture of the splits on his Twitter. Now study. What? Oh, wait, because it's a Libra stage music? How far back is... Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. It's titled Now Study. Ah, gotcha. The file I have just says Libra scale. Music. Stage theme. It's not OC Remix, no. It is a good one though, I like it. Reminder that talking to NPCs is hard. Hold B, mash A, easy. Yes. Unfortunately, it makes you double talk to yeah, mashing A makes it really easy to double talk to anything that's an object rather than an NPC. And I'm trying to make an effort to turn around when I talk to those things so that I can't mash into another text box. But you have to be really quick, so. And also swag, true. But it actually saves time because I can't double talk. Is this run? I think this was the disgusting run where I got 2 encounters. Both trips to Greentown run. It's like, yeah, my RNG's been really good. It always saves time. Saves a turn frame, I guess. Yeah, it's from Necrodancer. See, this is the one. Oh. I got 4 encounters total through the 2 trips to Green One. Ridiculous. It's just stupid. This was the beginnings of my tilt. On this run specifically, the first time I was like, oh, that's stupid, but whatever. Happens occasionally. Then this happened. It's like, man, that encounter was pretty early. Like, really? 4 encounters? This one is absolutely horrible for Aqua as well. It's really not that bad if you have Heat Cross, but pretty bad when you have Aqua. Reminder, I don't have Undershirt in as well, by the way. So I shoot him first before even using the Elm trap to get him to react faster. And then I use the trap and copy damage the Metar. You get plenty of time. Oh, this is a really good theme. This run is basically Heat Cross would be better. Yeah, but even when I Beast Out, it's like Greigar's Beast Out would have been better because it has super armor and fires faster. Yeah, it's Aaron. The Dark Cloud has a lot of really good tracks. It's the Queen's theme. It's one of my favorites. Short though. We're back to Necrodancer. Not sure if you put it on Infinite Loop. True. I just have the base OST though. Looping it at least once would probably be nice. Probably just once. It's a big part of why I like remixes better. So they're usually a pretty sensible length. Can see my mashing slow down a little. I hate that text box. That conversation is horrible. If you play the video 2x speed, you'll probably work. You're right, you're right. It's literally true. Why aren't you holding spacebar? Wait. Spacebar would just pause the video player. Can't wait for another 150% run. I do actually really want to do that again. I barely got sub 2, like it's not good enough. Can go so much lower than that. Beast out, take all those chips. Don't take copy damage. We've done it in 2 charges of copy damage. But, yeah, why bother? Oh, so this is a recording? Yes, I did an offline run this morning while I was watching GDQ. Yeah, so basically I can guarantee that I'm gonna PB this run, but I'm not gonna tell you the time. It's going to be less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. This track is really quiet, so I'm going to skip it. I don't want another Dark Cloud track. Okay, this works. Whenever it starts. Okay. Oh, this is quiet too. Whatever, we'll just listen to more Necro Dancer. It's good anyway. So at this point, I'm aware that I'm still quite far ahead of my PB. And then I was checking NP's PB and I was like, okay, I think I can do these comps in that fast. I shouldn't lose time on Judgment. If anything, I should save time, right? And since I'm already ahead of NP's PB, I should be even or even further ahead. And that was what I was thinking. And then I got into it a little and started counting encounters. And I think I got the standard amount of encounters. I might have skipped one in the first comp, but honestly, I don't usually pay attention to how many I get in here. But I only get one encounter in the first comp, so. And the encounters are going pretty well. So like, at this point I'm pretty happy. Quite content. I'm assuming I'm gonna save time. So if I time that correctly, I can actually end the fight in 2 buster shots, but I missed the Metar with the first one. And that's just a difference of muscle memory. Like, in Gregar, I know all the encounters, how to deal with them. There are very few that I've seen few enough times. So many Mars viruses in this comp. I know, right? This encounter is pretty bad. Just in general. I think I handle it fine, if I remember. This is not one that you want to see. And the corn dodged the copy damage. But then I double deleted them, so it was fine. So with the strat for comp 3 right here that you're seeing, the Celine Dion skip, don't ask. It's technically possible to not get this encounter, but I did get it this run, unfortunately. Kara decided to use Hakushaku? No. Use Elm Trap. Okay, fine. It's probably faster. It's probably not faster, it's probably the same. Then I do this. Freest skip in Battle Network 6. Doesn't even give me the bat pattern, but if it did, I would have dodged it anyway, so no problem. Then you get the Judge Man fight. The classic Celine Dion skip. Right, Marker? So, as you can tell, I messed this fight up a little. Could have killed him one charge sooner. Okay, yeah, that was actually correct. I took extra chips just in case. Hey, go see it. So that fight wasn't too bad. Slower than Gregor, obviously, but not by much. Not like that one time I obliterated him with M Boomer and Elm Trap. That was just rude. One gauged him without cross or beast out. It's silly. I should go highlight that. That was a really good fight. But yeah, that fight went okay. We're minus 309 now. So naturally, because we saved even more time against our PB. Handbed. Yeah, it's from Crypto the Necrodancer. We actually saved another 3 seconds compared to the whir on that split as well. So now I'm like, ah, yes, this is gonna be the, oh wait, Element Man. This is a pretty good task review. You funny. Nice try, Ghosty. This is so far from a task, like, this was a bad run. We're gonna be tanking some time on the Element Man split, because I'm not good at the encounters. And by tanking some time, I mean we're gonna save more time on the Element Man split. But, spoilers. But it's still not good. It's not good. There's still a lot more time to come off on this split. So here I do folder edit and navicust, take out the rest of the swords and area grab. And then I whiff the navicust all over the place because I don't know what I'm doing. But we made it. We have 640 HP now. And we should be good for the rest of the run. Which is to say, I don't edit the folder again and I don't navicust again. Ah, yeah, you'd think I would, based on my last run. But I don't even have charge +1 this time, because it's not worth it. So this is just like free time save right there. This is another really good track from Dark Cloud. Right, so this is this whole stretch with the 4 sets of gauntlet fights. I think this is where the most time can still come off of this run. That set is okay. Like it's still a big improvement on the last run that I did. Okay, I was gonna say, I think I realized I'm supposed to take copy damage. Yeah, I did. But then I whiff a chip, and then I take a hit and lose the other chip. So as you can see, the gauntlet fights are still real bad. I actually did not get tilted during the gauntlet fights though, as bad as they were. I think because I knew I was ahead of Whir, I just stayed really focused throughout the gauntlet fights. But then as soon as they were over, I was like, man, that was so bad. and realization started to set in that I was probably going to lose time. So then for like the next 3 splits, I'm just really mad at the game. Dude, Twilight. That sounds cool. What's BN6 VC, Gregor? I've never heard of that category. Oh, don't be stout against these. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't do this. Just don't be stout against these. F-Beast is dumb and stupid. Don't use it. Not against these guys. So I wasn't sure, but that guy's actually slightly faster than the fire guy. So shooting him was a good decision. Oh, I think this is the first fight I use Hack Shack in. It's an okay chip. It is exactly okay. It exists because it's piercing and null. It's the only reason that is in the folder. Whatever happened to Save Our Planet? Wait, this remix is great though. Wait, I had attack 10? Why didn't I put it on Hack Shack? Like, I knew that wasn't gonna kill as well. I should have just went Aqua. Oh, this time I put the attack 10 on it. Yeah. It does such almost damage. Don't ask me about this fight. I could have just mashed M-Boomer and it would have been fine. I should probably have tried to do more of these fights without crosses. Because like full synchros are really good. I draw Elm Trap and I'm just like, fast clear. Who cares? Hell with full synchro. Yes, copy damage lasts 1,000 years in BN6. I get decrossed here. I didn't really have a plan for this fight, and it went really bad. It's either only 6 or 6 and 5 that copy damage is bad in. So I actually wanted to use that reflector to get in front of him. But apparently when you're locked on with reflector, you still just don't move. Beats out is really bad sometimes, by the way. So copy damage first in case he went to the middle. That was another good fight. Double crack is so good. It's not this good, but it is good. I don't know what I was thinking there. I had 2 double cracks. So this split was just so full of mistakes. The gauntlets were horrible. So that's our HP bug gone. We now have 640 HP with no bug. Which means we're pretty safe to not die against Falzar. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I had a bunch of extra HP. At this point in my VOD, I can see myself switching between PB and word splits. And it's like right around here that since I don't have to be focused on virus fights, I start trying to do math and figuring out if I'm losing time on the element man split. And I'm aware that it looks very bad. This is for comparison. Here is MP's element man split. And here's my PB's element man split. I get here, I'm like, I don't have time for this. And then that happens, and I'm like, no. I needed to wait for them to shoot in the middle. The rest of this split is just honestly a disaster. At this point, I am thoroughly on tilt. And he can still save another 2 minutes. Dude, there's so much more than 2 minutes to come off of this PD. That could theoretically come off anyway. But 2 minutes would be pretty easily... I would easily be happy. We'll see. With 2 minutes. I think honestly, between just Spout Cross, Dive Man, and Element Man, I could probably save like 3 minutes. And that's not even including anything that happens later on, which I think could go a little bit better, but probably would about break even. Pavilion 1 was a little unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna be honest here. This fight in Falzar, you'd think would be better. Because you have Aqua, and you're not gonna get decrossed. Is so much worse. I would rather do this fight in Gregar with Heat Cross any day of the week compared to Spout Cross. It's absolutely horrible. Just real bad. The null chips were not kind to me either. Okay, so this fight was pretty good. They were a little kind. Oh, this fight actually, I remember this. This went extremely well. Yeah, that was a really cool fight. I did very, very quick math there. So even though I was pretty mad about what it looked like my time was going to be on the Element Man split, I was still able to play pretty decently. I think it was a demonstration of the technologies or something. I don't know why they're functional, but... Like, look at this high-tech fan. It can produce a tornado without spinning. I just chose not to take copy damage, so that was good. And I wasted 2 chips. Whoa, what is this encounter? Looked away at Discord for a moment. Is this in the weather comps? I don't remember this encounter. What? I didn't even know that was... Oh, that was really early as well. Gross. Understandably repressed. I know, right? It went pretty bad. Aqua encounters there. Look at that. I got robbed, dude. That was in. The weather comps didn't go amazingly. I did this. I don't know if that was faster. Probably would have been if I hit the wall instead of the cloud. Then that happened. I think the rest of this goes fine. Like, literally an encounter on the first cloud. Ridiculous. Then I do this, like you can see it. I just, at this point, I don't care at all anymore. Like MP has already split at this point, I think. No, he's about to. And I'm just like, I don't care. This run is dead to me at this point. The Typhoons are just really mean as well in these last two comps. And then I get this encounter. I mean, it's very normal to get encounters in every comp. Oh, I really like Hakushaku. Kills GMDs. I'm a fan. 10 out of 10. What's run chance? 50%? Honestly, I'm not quite sure. So we only have 160 health. Forget how this Element Man fight goes. I think it's okay. I take the decode. It's least likely for me to draw another of its kind. Plus, I think the mini bomb L is still in there, which I could pair with the mini bomb. And then I get this draw, and I don't take Ellen Trap. I guess because I knew this would kill, but then I missed one of the chips. Do I miss this? No. Okay, so the fight went pretty well. And at this point, I'm comparing with MP, and I'm like, well, I'm plus 131, but he doesn't do any of the tech in the boss rush. Like, it is feasible that I could still make that time back and at least get around the same time as him. So now he'll let Angry and AC/DC later, but aside from that, I kind of, my mindset gets a little back on track. No faith in Passer right there. Reasonably so, though. He can't even do slip walk. Like, why would I have faith in this? Possible time save 8 minutes. What? So if you look at my sum of best right now, it's a little glitched. It thinks that my moonstone split is 0 seconds. I think I broke something when I put in the manual split times. In actuality, the possible time save should be 224, and then I gold split it anyway, so it's actually even less than that, or even more than that. But it's not 9 minutes, or 8 minutes, or whatever else. Definitely considerably less than what it thinks it is. I'll fix it later, it's fine. I think that's the only one I broke. The split actually goes pretty well. Did Rich get Star Force 2 after? The game was really kind in Sky 1's run. I don't think I got any encounters there as a matter. And then I do this. I think, okay, this is reasonably fast. I get the hang of Slipwalk again later. I accidentally run into the wall there. It's still very loosely possible even on JP to not get an encounter in this area. I actually got a really early encounter, so I could get 2. But I jump into this comp area to reset my step counter. So there's no chance of getting another one now. Hope that's in this tutorial. It will be. Everything will be in the tutorial. So there we go. Saved a ton more time on PB. My PB was really bad for Falzar. And MP doesn't have a Moonstone split, so we're not gonna know until Dive Man. Although there's very, very little RNG on this split, I did figure I could save a little time. Hey, thanks for the host, Axel. Welcome to the stream. I did figure I could save some time on the split because he can't use slipwalk on VC. So I won't get any encounters in ACDC area, but he does. So I was starting to think like, okay, maybe I can make back the 130. Not much, dude. Just streaming a PB that I got offline earlier. In Falzar. So yeah, I actually get no encounters in the ACDC area. And I talk backwards to this door. Like a god. Look at that swag, dude. Okay, so since I didn't get an encounter on the way to that, I actually jack out. Which I'm pretty confident is faster. That task strat in the RTA. It's actually really easy to turn around when you interact with objects. In 4 through 6, it's really hard with NPCs, but like doors and stuff are super easy. You just need to be really quick. And look, I've remembered how to be a god of slipwalk. First try on a moving NPC. Let's go. And we don't even soft lock. And I remember to let go of B. That NPC's a jerk, by the way. There are a couple that just stand right in your slip run path to get out of Sky 1. Sometimes you'll hit them and get an encounter, and it's really unfortunate. Can't slipwalk this time, but I don't get an encounter. Then I get to the Blast Man Dive Man refights, and I miss a Buster Shot. Sadly, you can't just stand behind the cube with Aqua. And then he doesn't go behind the cube, so it takes me an extra shot. Forget what I did for Dive Man. Okay. So I was reasonably confident that I could lure him to the front, I guess. I actually went for Aqua Beast on Dive Man. Which ended up being really fast. Reminder Dive Bomb does 5 damage. Yes. It's worth the risk. It's super fast. And I did in fact save back 20 seconds on MP's run. So what I thought was going to happen is starting to happen. I figured that as long as I can not lose time on kernel and under BDS, I could potentially make back a minute and a half. Nope, there were no wrong left buses in this run. There were a few wrong menus though. Ah, so you didn't work. We'll see, we'll see. I PB. Or did I die? We'll find out. Right, Sarah? That'd be a really good troll. I do finish the run, unfortunately, as hilarious as that would have been. No, don't do it. Don't listen to Ghost Hit. It's a bad speed game. It has a higher encounter rate than my green area 1. It's horrible. Oh my god. No. No, no, no. Abort. Bad. Nah, I could ban Ghost. I can't ban Terra. I'm far too lazy to remod him. He's going to get wear on Pegasus. Yes. Accurate. So you can see these soul weapons went a lot worse than the first set. Please never do that for Star Force. Category for every version. That'd be so gross, dude. They're not different enough. Like, it's all the same. Like, literally, whichever form has the fastest charge shot, or the best DPS charge shot, would be the fastest version. Like, nothing else even matters. Pegasus charge shot takes so long to charge. It's horrible. It does freeze them, but like, disgusting. Alright, so I still have no idea how to fight this boss. Or how to use Spoutman, as you can probably tell. Just cry on him. You're right. Got wrecked by Boomer. Double hit with my Boomer though. For some reason, he doesn't always move the same number of times as G-Beast moves. So yeah, that fight was absolutely horrible. That's another good place to save time against this run. Colonel goes fine. I take the L-code mini-bomb. Get it out of there. If it was B-code, I would have left it. So the window to AI loop Colonel with Spout Cross is really tiny. But I went for that first because I plan to use Aqua Beast because I can reliably take him to the front row. You can actually AI loop him with this. But only if you get it started with Spout Cross, because if he goes to the back, you can't hit him anymore. But nonetheless, the Colonel fight went pretty well. And I saved some more time against PB. Unfortunately, I did lose only 16 seconds against MP, but still lost time. At this point, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to be able to beat the record. But it's not impossible. Because again, I have 2 slip walks left and gavel skip. And those alone could be anywhere from, they could be anywhere from like 7 to 20 seconds each, at least. Keep looking at Winamp to see what song is from. It's Necrodancer again. I was gonna do a screen region for it, but I already had the stream started and I didn't want to. Yes, Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's a rhythm roguelike. It's a lot of fun. And has an amazing soundtrack. Actually took copy damage. Imagine that. I just finish him off with the Buster. These fights went pretty much exactly okay. Oh, and I don't save. This run was dead to me, I didn't care. Took Spout Cross just in case. I definitely could have got away without it. So I need to Buster both of those guys twice, but I can still do it before the kettle explodes. So the fight's still pretty fast. Then I do this and get an encounter, and I'm real mad about it. That triple delete's cool though. Almost worth the encounter. But yeah, anytime I was going to save on the split is pretty much gone now. Oh, and this encounter goes poorly as well. Alright, so you guys have any guesses as to what time I get? At this point, we're far enough in that it's relatively easy to take an educated guess at. You said sub 230, so 229.59. We'll see. I get this encounter here. That's unfortunate. I actually let go of B because I'm really good at this game. Hey Nova, welcome. 230 something I'd say. I will tell you that it's sub 230. I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that anyway, because I am minus 630 on 235 splits. So 24.47? Wait a minute. Why 224.47? What? Dude, that would be faster than MP's run. We'll see, we'll see. 224.59. It's the same as MP's run. 228.04. $213 wrong warp right now. Oh god. Wait, is this price a right style or? I mean, it's just for fun. It doesn't matter. No one has all of the no one even has the first 3 digits right yet, though. I will tell you that one. That's the last hint. Oh, and these punk navies block your path, but I just walk through them anyway. It's fine, don't worry about it. Alright, so remember how good I was at slipwalk in the ACDC areas? Well, this prog talks a lot, so it's a lot more important in this area. And I fail it. And I fail it. I think I got it that time. Feeling your principles secretly, Batman. Past arrows letting me down. I know, right? Same. And I lost slipwalk. That's good. Okay. I get it again second try. But at this point, I've lost any time that I would have saved. Although actually with Aqua, probably saves more time. Alright, so I asked what time you guys think I was gonna get, but after seeing that, it's probably pretty clear that it's not going to be as fast as I would like. How many tries do you think I'm gonna take to get gavel skip? I really should have prepared the Benny Hills theme for this, but I did not. One, Tara's got confidence. Two, Uber's. Say two's usually a pretty good estimate as well. 1 and 2 are the most common for me, for sure. But the answer is 1. I get it first try. Gavel skip's free, easy every time. Literally can't fail the trick. This was a bit of a puzzle, figuring out what order I wanted to take the chips in. I wanted to use M-Boomer first, but I want it to charge White Capsule as well. I missed the counter hit. Well, unfortunate, it's whatever. I took the copy damage because White Capsule can't affect copy damage, and so I could take the White Capsule later and still be able to charge it. So, my boss rush was really bad. I still think I could have saved a minute 26 on boss rush compared to MP. It's not unfeasible. Like, it was possible, I'm sure, but it's just, it was so bad. And I had to jack out there because there was at least a possibility of no encounter if my steps are correct, but there was possibility of 2 encounters if I didn't jack out there. And I do actually get 1 encounter, and I could have got 0, and I'll explain that when we get the last piece. Okay, so I managed to get off this cloud and capture the typhoons without an encounter. What that means is that I could have docked the cloud, jacked out, jacked back in, and the comp would still be done. You can't do it while you have the rainbow pieces because you'll lose them and have to recollect them, but once the typhoons are cleared, the comp stays done. Could have jacked out right here and not got an encounter, but I get it literally like 4 steps from the end, and I get a shadow. But I run away. First try. What a run, I know, right? Top tier suspense commentary. All according to plan. I'm really not used to using much beast out or trying to squeeze chips into a small time frame with it. So I did a lot of pressing A too soon and also just missing. So it's probably obvious that I don't get whir at this point, but I do get a pretty reasonable PB for how few Falzar attempts I've done. This is more like what I would expect with my Gregor experience, going into Falzar with no real plan. Yeah, so like, even more so in this game, I go into the cross menu a lot because I'm used to just heat crossing for every fight in Gregor. That fight was really good, by the way. If I draw 2 non-Elm chips, that's actually what I'm going to do from now on in Gregor, because that was faster than heat cross. But yeah, a lot of the times I'll get to the cross menu and realize that I have chips that would be better for the encounter. I wonder if Beast Out would be better for that fight as well. It probably would. Copy damage the Swordy. Then you can do a charge on the Metar, kills both, does some damage to the candle, and then another charge will take out the candle. Oh, the charges won't do a clean 200 in Gregor though. Or will they? No, they won't. Because we don't have attack +1 still in the Navi Coast. And Gregor's a little scarier than Falzar. So I really want to take out Undershirt, like the current strats. I guess those 660 is probably worth more. Like, is 100 health worth Undershirt? Probably. I missed that charge. It's real bad. And then I missed that mini one. That's 2 chips I missed that would have ended the fight. 1 turn soon. Luckily I got M Boomer on Gage. Or do I split? It's on the white screen. Okay. Yeah, so... Oh, MP doesn't have a boss rush split. But I only had 3 seconds to beat this split, so... nowhere today. So here I take the copy damage because it is not a null chip, and the mini bomb L because it's a bad card. I managed to get a few hits on Falzar while I'm waiting for the custom damage. Which I mean, it's good, it's a little damage. Charges do 70, it's not insignificant. Here I take the D code. Yep. I was careful not to waste any chips when he did wind this time. I opened the gauge there to grab another chip, which is going to let me get 2 off this cycle even though I only had 1. Then he does wind again. And he's dead. $226.31. So 220 win. Falzar? Never. See, I was right. Well, you can say 236. 213 wrong word. Got A time? Oh. Alright. Accurate. You get A timeout. Alright, so honestly this was a good starting point for me for Falzar, I think. I was able to use my knowledge and experience from Gregor to transfer over and get within 8 minutes of my Gregor time, which is pretty impressive, honestly, all things considered. So now if I can iron out the Element Man scenario, and I guess under BBS, but like really that went okay anyways, and not mess up a bunch on boss rush, I think I can quite easily bop MP. Take that record. Enjoyed the speedrun of Cloud of the Dark Crypt answer. Same. What, Terra, right after you said you wouldn't? Rude. Salty run back right arrow? Not tonight, unfortunately. But we'll still be doing Falzar this week. I have some good splits to compare against now. And I just need to figure out what I'm doing for the Element Man scenario. Okay, here's the game time. 2:23. This was not a bad run at all. Well, it was a really bad run, but it was a good starting point. Not a bad starting point at all. I did crush my PV by 9 minutes, so we're only 8.5 behind my Gregor PV. Like, all in all, pretty happy with this. Still gonna beat it. Still real bad, but yeah. So, do you not do frame counter anymore? Oh, I had it off for recording videos because it just looks cleaner. That doesn't really matter for those. I guess I forgot to turn it back on. That doesn't look like anyone else is really doing Battle Network. You want speedruns? Go have a look at AGDQ. I mean SGDQ. Still doing stuff. Today's game list I wasn't too into, but I don't know, maybe you will be. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.